As the generation capacity shortages persist over the next few weeks, load shedding will continue to be implemented at various stages. Eskom cautions the public that it will still take a few weeks for the power generation system to fully recover to pre-strike levels, depending on several possibilities, including the workforce fully returning to work to conduct much-needed repairs to equipment. It is anticipated that load shedding will gradually be lowered to stage 2 by the weekend. Of course, Eskom will communicate and implement any changes as may be necessary should the need arise in between.
Right, let's get more on this. Lungile Mashele, an economist and energy expert, joins me now. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News this afternoon. How would you characterize the state of power in South Africa at the moment?
It's in dire straits, and over the years, it has been the single most stumbling block towards economic recovery. At this point, it is killing not just major industries such as your mining, but as your SMMEs as well. It's a state of security that people are actually worried about their safety and their health. It has come to a point now where people have died and are continuing to die because of what is happening. It is a social issue, it is an economic issue, it is a political issue.
Lungile, what would you say then are the main issues around Eskom?
So the main one, and this has been an issue since 2007, 2008, is the lack of capacity. And we do know that this is why there was a new build program, Midubigusile and Dingola. However, we also know that these projects were mired in corruption as well as time and cost overruns. To date, they, apart from Ingola, but we still have issues with Midubigusile, often tripping, not fully commissioned either, all of the units, so there's that issue. Over the years, Eskom has also suffered, massive losses, like in terms of people leaving as well, which has impacted on their ability to operate their fleet and to conduct necessary maintenance. There have been chronic shortages of liquidity at the utility itself. Demand has been coming down. So it's a combination of different factors that one could term a utility death spiral, which has happened to utilities around the world, unfortunately. And unfortunately, in this country, nothing was done in time to circumvent where we are and the seriousness of the situation as it stands currently.
All right, so if time was wasted and not enough was done, as you've just said, how long can we living in South Africa expect to continue seeing these kind of power cuts and blackouts?
So we can continue to, see them, I think, perhaps until 2024, 2025. The immediate recourse that you do have is, of course, doing reliability maintenance, getting the fleet back up to a level which is acceptable. We do know that currently, I think as of last night, there was about 18,500 megawatts on unplanned maintenance. Now, that is a record for Eskom. We've never gotten to this point before. So one of the very first things they're going to have to embark on is an active reliability maintenance program carried out over the summer months. In terms of new capacity, there's nothing that can be done. All those projects need licensing, they need procurement, they need studies, they need contracting, they need to be built. So you're looking at anything between 18 to 24 months of new capacity coming on board and alleviating that situation.
Is enough being done? I mean, if you're speaking about a death spiral, a crisis, something that started in 2007, and that's now at the point that's affecting our economy, our political situation, our social situation as well, should it not be all hands on deck, and it shouldn't take 18 to 24 months to get us back to capacity, to get us out of a situation where we're facing stage 6 rolling blackouts almost every day?
You're absolutely right. And ideally, I'd like to see us in a situation similar to what happened at the start of COVID-19, where you have interministerial, interdepartmental working groups declare a state of disaster or of some sort, where these groups can work together, give us a report back on a weekly basis on what is being done. What is being done with licensing, ensuring that the regulatory measures are actually met, cutting the time that is required also, the cost estimate letters that have to go out, the various water use licenses, which can take up to months, environmental authorizations. I need the DPE, DMRE, DFFE, NERSA, Eskom to sit in one room every single day for the next 6 months and to tell us on a weekly basis, how are they changing? How are they improving? How are we getting closer to ensuring energy security of supply?
Is the kind of power challenge that we're facing at the moment and the energy problem that we're facing a uniquely South African problem?
Definitely not. In the past, there have been numerous other countries, talking of Senegal here, Ghana, Nigeria suffers from chronic power, outages. And some of these countries have, gone to up to about 20 hours of rotational load shedding. Luckily, in this country, we're not there yet. But if we keep on dilly-dallying and not doing what we have to do, we'll get there eventually.
Lungile, I'm just checking that you're still there.
Stages were, drawn up, stage 2, 4, 6, and 8. I don't think we ever thought we'd get to a point where stage 6 is perhaps a regular occurrence. Yet here we are now. Globally, what we are seeing, countries such as India, China, the US, the UK, France, Germany, they're all sounding calls to say they will have to load shed this year, and demand side management is their first thing. They are talking about their mothballed coal-fired plants, bringing them back on, online. So there's a massive energy shift happening globally, and South Africa is caught up in that mess also, over and above the mess that we've been digging over the last 15 years.
When it comes to the challenges that Eskom is facing, I like how you said it's also a political issue, because there is political commentary coming on, especially around the CEO of Eskom, Andre de Ruyter. Some people saying, why are there not more calls for Andre de Ruyter to go? Because he's failing us in his job, which is to provide electricity as Eskom. And then some people are saying it's being politicized by people who would like to interfere with Eskom or who would like to steal at Eskom. Just talk to us about what next and the commentary around Andre de Ruyter and what's happening with him.
At the end of the day, Andre is the CEO of Eskom, and he needs to be held accountable for Eskom's lack of supply. Eskom is the electricity supply company of South Africa. It is not an auditing company. It is not a forensic investigation company. Those things need to happen in a parallel process. They are very necessary, but need to happen in a parallel process. The key thing is ensuring energy security of supply. And personally, for me, him going, whether he stays, goes, I need accountability. I need Eskom board to be accountable. I need the DPE to be accountable. I need all of them to come out and to say, this is what we requested as Eskom. This was not met because of DMRE or DPE or NERSA. I need people to start pointing fingers at each other and allaying blame themselves. Because ultimately, as consumers of Eskom's product, we're simply going to allay blame at the foot of Eskom and say it's their fault. And we would not be wrong. And unless Eskom comes out and says, we've tried everything in our might, here are the documents, here are the emails, we're not getting any assistance. And unless that is forthcoming, we're always going to blame Eskom, and we are not wrong.
Lungile Mashele, an economist and energy expert, just joining us there to talk about the state of power in South Africa and the issues around that.